Yeah, so how do family businesses stick together? How do you ensure that, because of course the fights will always be there,
Yes, yes, yes.
pragmatically speaking, but how do you ensure that even if the fights are there, we have to keep the main thing?
One critical thing
Yeah.
is you need to identify that in a family business there's a mishmash of things. And if I were to say the three key elements within that, one is the family, one is the business, and then the third is the ownership.
Okay.
And if you can have mechanisms which are able to handle all of that and
Right.
try as far as possible to remove the emotion out of it, that is the foundation of success for families. So just to how you have a business, you'll have a board of directors, you'll have rules around employments, policies,
Right.
procedures.
Right.
We've done something similar for our family, whereby we have a family council, which is like your board of directors. We have a family constitution, which lays down all the rules, what you can do, can't do, etc. And mechanisms to keep the bonding together. So we have monthly gatherings, we have a retreat every 2 to 3 years. So we make it fun. We make it fun.
Wow. Man, so
Yeah.
constitution.
Yes, yes.
So like there's a head of family or head of business.
Correct.
And these are men or women that must be respected.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, so going back to my first question, so who is Rupen? How would you describe yourself?
So my story is interesting. So born and brought up in Kenya. I followed a private education route
Yeah.
and followed the British system.
Yeah.
And typically what happened is if you follow the British system, you ended up going to university in UK.
Yes.
So I went to University of Nottingham with the intention that I'll come back and join the family business. But whilst I was there, when you're there by yourself, you suddenly have a greater realization and you start discovering who is Rupen, right? Because you've always been part of a bigger thing, and you start sort of creating your own values, your own beliefs, your own desires,
Yes.
etc. So whilst I was in UK, it was a great moment for me to try and discover myself and what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And one of the things is I never wanted to be called my father's son or my grandfather's grandson. I wanted to build up my own identity, right? And really create my journey
Yeah.
so that I'm recognized for who I am.
Yeah.
And at that point, I said, okay, let me try and get a job within UK just for experience and to try and build my for personal development.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, as a Kenyan, wow, it was difficult.
Yeah?
Yeah, very difficult.
Why?
Because you need a work permit and all the different things.
Okay.
But thank to God and sometimes the stars align. So managed to get a job, and you laugh at this, as an accountant.
Okay.
So I worked with a company called KPMG.
Yeah.
So almost worked with them for 8 years. Very good learning for me. I mean, I was just impressed because suddenly you're exposed to a new way of working, a new style of leading people,
Yes,
and a new set of
excellence.
people,
Yes.
an excellence, as
Yes,
you said, right?
yeah.
So really actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Many people say as an accountant, it's a boring career.
They're just drab people. Sorry, accountant. Sorry.
No, that's fair enough. But the perspective I normally put is, don't look for the boring and bad stuff. Look for the great stuff. So I'd always look, in anything I do, I always look for the positive, right? So for me, it was around the different people I meet, the different clients I meet, the different experiences I get. So that is what kept me excited in the role, right?
So you worked for KPMG 8 to 9 years.
Yeah.
What informed the decision? At what point did you decide, okay, I want to go home?
Yeah.
Did you decide or were you called?
Yeah. So I was waiting for my British passport. And I kept on using that as an excuse to my dad, saying, look, I need to get a British passport.
Right.
And then eventually I went through the naturalization process and got my
Okay.
British passport.
Okay.
After I got that, my father then picked up the phone, and I call it an emotional blackmail. They go, Rupen, you've got your passport now. I think it's time for you to come back home.
Oh.
Yeah, and join the family business because, and at the back of my mind, I always knew that because the way I look at it is, my grandfather started the business from scratch.
Yes.
My father and his brothers took it to another level.
Yes.
And my dream has always been to carry on with the legacy and really take it to the greatest heights possible. So to me, that was always a passion. I'm always passionate about Kenya, and I just love this country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much a difficult decision to make for you at
Yeah,
that time.
correct, correct, yeah.
Because you always knew this is where I'm going.
Yes, I mean, I was. To be fair, I was at a crossroads.
Okay.
Because my career in UK was progressing well, and
Yes.
you know, I'd really established myself there. But at the same time, there was that, you know, innate calling saying you need to come back.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
it wasn't. It was a tough choice, but yet it wasn't a difficult choice.
Yes, I see
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like catch. What
Yeah.
do they say? Catch something. It's-
Catch 22.
Yeah, catch 22. Okay.